Okay, so let's talk about it. I want to share a little bit about my healing journey and something I guess I would call the victim mentality, right? What others may call the victim mentality. So in my healing journey, y'all know it's been a while and it's been a journey and I've shared a lot with you. And I have really looked back and had a reflection not too long ago and just realized how far I've come. I remember initially when I started this journey, I'm sitting here thinking my life after 15 years of marriage, I'm starting all over with 6 children, and I'm walking away from a person that I thought I was going to spend my forever with. Like, this was it for me. But I could never see the end. Like, if I'm honest, I never saw the end. I never saw us old. I never saw, I tried, but I didn't see it. And I didn't understand that. Now I do. But at that time, I could never see what I guess I would call the end game. And that vision was blocked because there was a purpose for that relationship. And that relationship was designed to cause me to fall in love with myself, to choose me, and to go deep within and heal my traumas and figure out who I truly am. That was why that relationship was there and why that relationship was so pivotal in my own healing journey. That is why I can never look at that relationship and say I was a victim. That relationship was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And no matter what situations and dynamics that played out in that relationship, as I healed through them, I realized that relationship never would have happened if I hadn't been in a particular place. If I had known my worth, if I had known certain things, if I had loved myself, then there would have been a totally different dynamic going into it. Or it may never have happened. It may have never gotten that far. Who knows? But for where I was when that choice point came to go enter into this relationship, I was where I needed to be to make the choice that was going to send me to my highest timeline, to my highest evolution, which means there are no mistakes. That means I am not a victim. That means nobody can do anything to me that I do not allow. And when I started taking that type of accountability, my whole energy shifted. My whole viewpoint shifted. So the reason why I can smile through a lot of that, now I cried, don't get me wrong, I cried. I'm human. There's a human nature here. So there's grief, there's anger, there's pain, there's resentment, there's rage, there's unforgiveness. And then on the other side of that, when you meet all of those things with compassion and love and understanding, it shifts everything. The whole game changes and you start to understand this wasn't one of the worst things. This was the best thing that I ever went through. That was the best thing that I ever went through. And mind you, we've had some hard times, but I know for a fact that we were only mirrors of one another. He may have done things that I saw in the physical, but what I saw him doing to me in the physical were things that I was doing to my inner child internally. So he was only a mirror for me to see what needed to be worked on, what still needed to be healed, what needed to be transmuted, what needed to be turned into my growth, my healing, and vice versa. The things that he saw that I may have done to him externally were things that his inner child needed to see, feel, and endure so that he could heal. And at the end of the day, the purpose was there. He said it, he would have never walked away. But that doesn't mean that he was happy. It also means that I wasn't happy. So neither one of us were happy. I just got to a point, which was my lesson, that I could choose me and walk away. There are no victims here. We are not victims. We wrote the story. We wrote the story that we're living out. We designed the characters. We designed ourselves as the main character. We have our supporting story. We have all of these things that we did and orchestrated. So I just wanted to encourage us as we're on this healing journey, not to get stuck feeling like other people are in so much control and power that they can do things to us and we're always trying to fight through something and heal through something and oh my gosh, I got to get through that. These traumas are orchestrated. When you take your power back by saying, you know what, I wrote that and that shit may have been hard as hell, but for whatever reason, I knew that I could take it. I knew that I could overcome it. I knew that I could turn that into my good. I know how to alchemize that pain and make it power. See, that makes me now the main character. That makes me source. That makes me the divine being in my own story. That's how I take my power back. That's how I overcome. That's how come I can smile. That's how come I can now shift into my most abundant, healthiest, wealthiest timeline ever. Because I know who I am. I know my power and I know how I can shift the energy around me. And then I don't have all this hate. I don't have pain. I don't have anger and rage and resentment anymore because I now understand, I misread that. I misread that. I thought you did something to me. You didn't do anything to me. You just played your role. And so I'm now more grateful for you than anything. I'm more grateful for you. No matter what you do, you're playing the role that I wrote for you in this script. And I'm grateful that you chose to play that role. Sometimes these are hard roles for people, because you have to think, the pain that hurting people hurt people. And the pain that we cause other people is only from our own pain. It's not that we're healthy, happy, vibrant beings and we just decide I'm gonna just cause this ruckus and chaos in somebody else's life because I don't have anything else to do. No, it's bubbling over from what's within, and it won't stop until I deal with what's within. It's not for me to deal with what anybody else has done. I can't heal for another being. When I say I'm a healer, I'm not a healer because I can fix your problems. I'm a healer because I can fix mine, and because I have learned how to heal myself, I can hold space for you to heal yours. That's it. I'm only here as a space holder to hold you when you need to be held. I'm only here as a space. Now, if you choose to heal, great. If you choose not to heal, that's also great. You're living out your story. I've lived out mine. I'm living out mine. I'm excited about mine. I am thriving in mine. And so I am only here to let you know, listen, we're not victims. No matter what we've gone through, we're not victims. And we don't need to get stuck in that victim mindset or that victim mentality. Because the more we tell these stories in our healing journey, it's okay to talk about it. Get it out, journal it, get it out when it's fresh. But there comes a point that you have to stop telling the story, because then you're creating a narrative of I have to stay broken. I have to stay in submission to this issue. Those issues don't determine my future. Those issues don't determine my outcome. Those issues don't determine my well-being. They don't determine where I am. So yes, they may have happened. I'm not negating that they didn't happen, but they only happened for me to evolve, for me to heal, for me to thrive, for me to overcome and move forward, for me to now have some medicine to take back to other people when they're going through it. Hey, this may have happened to you, but you know what? I got through it, and I know that you can too. All you have to do is go within. Let's talk about some of those inner child wounds. Why did you even get in this situation in the first place? What were you thinking? How'd you feel about yourself? How do you feel about how you received love from your parents? What is your relationship with money? Those are the things that's why that's there. That's how we process it. I love you much. I hope that helps. We'll talk soon.